Riding skill at its finest has been delighting thousands at the International Horse Show, back again at the White City after a lapse of 8 years. Teams from both sides of the channel competed in the jumping event, which certainly made a hit with a large and excited audience of children. Setting the seal on the day's events came the arrival of His Majesty the King, accompanied by the two princesses. Despite the wet weather, Princess Elizabeth looked particularly happy on this, the eve of the official announcement of her engagement. The royal party were in good time to see the exciting contest for the King George V Cup, which was won this year by a brilliant rider from France. More applause was gained by a parade of harnessed pairs, whose smartness seemed quite unaffected by the pouring rain. Later on, some of the junior winners received their awards from Princess Margaret at the end of a colorful sporting occasion. Battered and rusty as they lie at their moorings, remnants of the Japanese imperial fleet are divided among the Allies, who together put an end to the sea power of Japan. Naval representatives get together to decide on the procedure, and in Tokyo it's agreed to make it a draw and leave the rest to chance. Dipping into a goldfish bowl, an American officer draws the name of a ship assigned to the USA. Now the Royal Navy, followed by the Red Fleet. Lastly comes China, whose choice appears to be highly satisfactory. Meanwhile, Shanghai sees the fate of two Japanese war criminals, notorious as the Tiger of Tianjin and the Wolf of Changalu. Still full of arrogance, the convicted men make their last journey, a record of their crimes tied to their backs. Death by shooting was the fate of two former conquerors whose deeds have earned a just reward.
Some of our American cameramen got an excellent impression of the start of the first post-war yacht race from Los Angeles to Honolulu. 34 really classy vessels had entered for what was bound to be a stern test for the seamanship of their skippers and crews. For the total distance to be sailed was at least 2,225 sea miles. A great sport and a most attractive picture as the competitors put to sea in fine weather. And no doubt there was plenty of fun in store for them on the long voyage to Honolulu. Princess Elizabeth, wearing the uniform of Chief Ranger of the British Empire for the first time in this country, was accompanied by Princess Margaret, a Sea Ranger, for the big march past in the Mall. Nearly 2,000 Girl Guides and Boy Scouts were in the parade, representing all parts of the United Kingdom and many other lands. The march past, which was extremely smart, was watched and admired by thousands of Londoners. After it was over, the crowds were so big that the mounted police had quite a busy time one way and another. Everyone was anxious to see the princesses drive back to the palace. The second greatest liner in the world, the Queen Mary, which did such great war work as a trooper, is to resume her transatlantic service at the end of July. Equipped, of course, with the last word in radar, she's been having her luxury accommodation brought equally up to date. The observation lounge and bar will be a rallying point for passengers, and so will the shopping centre, I've no doubt. This is called the Long Gallery, where the band will play for those who feel like dancing. The veranda grill is the place for those who want to stay up till the early hours. Decorations are a feature of the two queens. Here are a few samples from the QM. And the dining hall, they say, will be more attractive than ever. Altogether, the 81,000-ton Cunarder will soon be providing high-speed service on her old run, incidentally earning many urgently needed dollars for Britain. Competition was very keen at Bisley as marksmen blazed away for the King's prize. Marshal of the Royal Air Force, Lord Tedder, who was to distribute prizes, was a very keen spectator. For the second year in succession, the King's prize was won by a member of his service. This year it was Warrant Officer Bennett, and it was only the second time he had competed at the Bisley meeting. He scored 279 out of a possible 300, and was given the traditional triumph accorded to a King's prize winner. Field Marshal Lord Montgomery, who at CIGS has been visiting Australia, was given a really tremendous welcome in Melbourne. His stay in the city included visits to the town hall and the Shrine of Remembrance. The crowds were so great that it was impossible to keep to the time schedule. The local estimate was that nearly 250,000 people cheered him during the course of his drive through Melbourne.